Welcome back, y'all. This is the Miscellaneous Minds podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
NYPD detective dismissed from sex crime unit after popping it in a music video. Let's talk about it.
An officer, Melissa Mercado, was caught by a number of different individuals twerking, stripping, doing her thing in a music video. I never listened to the song. My man here told me the song was dog shit. But the reason we want to talk about the topic is because, listen, I had a number of opinions when I first heard this. Listen, I'm the type of person that when you leave your office, your job, wherever it is that you work, you clock out, bam, you hit, I'm out on that job, and you go home. Whatever you do at home is nobody's business but your own. However, in this particular instance, I have a little bit of a problem with it. We entrust police officers with a certain amount of responsibility, with a certain amount of authority, and if I may say, you must carry yourself in a dignified manner. I think a police officer that has to do this type of thing on the side, because listen, we looked up her salary. She makes north of $137,000 a year. She's clearly comfortable. She's been doing it for 7 years now. She's apparently, according to her, a lot of her colleagues' testimony, she's respected, so on and so forth. So we can assume she's doing this for the thrill of it, for the fun, for being in the game. My thing is, madam, you should really take your position a little bit more respectfully, because again, I fully understand that there's a lot of officers that abuse their position, that do a lot of bad and negative things, as we've seen plenty of videos showing that officers abuse their position. So any sort of temptation that would put you in a position where you might have to or could potentially abuse your position, I have a problem with. I feel like your job as a police officer, you should be carrying yourself with a higher level of dignity than the women that I see on the street corner every once in a while down the road. I feel like you should carry yourself in a different manner than the women that I paid $20 to see her booty hole when I went to the strip club last time. I'm making a joke there, but the point still stands. Listen, as a police officer, you got to carry yourself in a certain type of way. And I feel like with the police officer that's doing this, not to mention a police officer in the sex crimes unit, I feel like you're debasing the position a little bit. Now, I know some of her colleagues have came out and said, hey, look, man, who cares? She wasn't wearing any NYPD paraphernalia. She was off the clock. She was, on her personal time. What does it matter? And I agree with that, but the public perception is like, what if one of the dudes who put her in their music video was committing some sort of crime? And she was the one there. She was the one observing the crime or like the fact that you're linked to these individuals puts you in a potentially negative or at least a conflicting light, because who knows how you would act. And listen, if the idea is that you're gonna get basically butt naked on a music video for small time rappers, who's to say you wouldn't do other things for small time rappers? Because again, it's not for the money. She's living a comfortable life. It's one of those things where she's doing it for the fun of the game, to be in it. So I would highly question this decision. I personally would not want her being in the police unit patrolling my area. I know a lot of people are gonna make fun of me for that, because who wouldn't want this baddie patrolling the streets of your neighborhood? But listen, I'm one of those people where I believe that if you're going to be a police officer, you should hold yourself to a higher standard than the rest of us scumbags. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, part of me thinks that this wasn't a recusal of a police officer from something that could be construed as a conflict of interest. I do think that the supervisor probably called in the officer and probably asked something along the lines of, do you know why I called you in here? Yeah, you appeared in a music video. We can't have you representing the police force. Not because you're out here popping that coochie in a music video, but because you're choosing to represent the New York Police Department on a music video that's so fucking trash. Have you seen that song, dog? It is complete ass water. This is SoundCloud level 1 tier garbage. That being said, look, I can understand, at least to an extent, her, because she was popping pussy in a music video, especially in a rapper that glamorizes a lifestyle that police officers might exactly not agree with, that it's going to make the police department look like it's going to be colluding into some kind of illegal shit. Maybe, again, like I said earlier, a little bit of a conflict of interest with the police officers and people that might be trying to indulge in that lifestyle through illicit means. But my thing is, I can understand the I want the police to be held to a higher standard. Cool. Why is it just in this one specific instance, but when there's other instances like innocents getting killed because they had something that might have looked like a gun, but it was actually just a Pop Tart that was chewed to be in the shape of a gun, or a water pistol that was made to look like a gun, or all these civil asset forfeiture thefts that have been happening by police. Why is it in this one particular instance we're like, yeah, the police need to be held to a higher standard? We're like, cool. What about all these other instances? I'm like, well, yeah, that's just the nature of the business. Again, if you want to make that argument of police need to be held to a higher standard, cool. Why is it just this one particular instance, but not every other else? I understand you're wanting to recuse somebody.
Nobody's saying that though. Nobody's saying that. We should hold those officers to a higher standard too. Nobody's saying just in this one instance. We're saying it in all the instances.
At least that's what I've seen. At least in the comment section for I think it was World Star where it was reported on, where it was like, yeah, we need to be holding police officers to a higher standard. I was like, yeah, but we should be doing that in a general sense, not just this one particular instance. And to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, I understand for a music video, and her to be exposing that much. I get it. She did too much. I understand that. But music video compared to what? All the money thefts that police have committed in the sense of, oh, this is evidence. We need to secure this in the hopes that it can jail somebody. Or again, all the innocent people that got killed because of police procedures and road stops, whatever. Again, a music video just seems like a bit of a stretch as far as like a higher standard needs to be held for the police. I just think it's like the whole thing seems a bit wild. I get why they did it, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, this seems a bit wild of a procedure.
Listen, man, I feel like you're misconstruing two different things, like two things that don't equal each other. I feel like you're trying to make equal. I don't think anybody's saying don't hold those cops to a higher standard, the ones stealing or framing people or misconstruing evidence. I'm saying hold those motherfuckers accountable. So I'm saying put those dudes in jail. I'm not saying put her in jail. All I'm saying is you probably shouldn't be popping out here, when you're essentially protecting the people, right? And listen, she is an attractive woman. I don't think there's anyone on the planet that won't say she's an attractive woman. She's a baddie. But ma'am, listen, if I see you in a music video and then I see you out patrolling the streets, I might pull out something strange and see, a little bit of piece of change, see if you can do something strange. Because the thing is, listen, again, if I think, I don't know these dudes. I don't know the dudes in the music video. You're saying it's a shitty music video. It's a shitty song. My thing is she couldn't have been paid all that much for it. So my thing is if your price meter is that low, what else can be pulled off? I know people are going to get butthurt at that premise, but listen, it's a matter of holding yourself. You should have a certain amount of dignity in those types of jobs. The same way that, listen, if she was a doctor, I wouldn't want it. If she was an attorney, I wouldn't want her doing that. There's so many jobs that, a judge, so on and so forth. There's so many jobs where we put like this trust in you to hold yourself to a higher standard because you shouldn't be that low where a little bit of attention, a little bit of money, a little bit of fame makes you lower your standards for what? A D-list, F-list, E-list celebrity? Even if they're a celebrity? So I understand what you're saying. We should hold all cops to a higher standard. But again, I don't think anybody's saying don't hold those dudes that are stealing money to a lower standard than anybody else. I'm just saying in this particular instance, I'm not a fan of this female officer. And listen. I'll tell you this right now. I don't want anyone to make this a man and woman thing because if I found out there was an NYPD officer who was working at Chippendales, I would say the exact same. In fact, I might berate him more. Like, brother, have some dignity. So this isn't a man and woman thing. This is as a police officer, hold yourself to a higher standard. That's all I'm asking. If you're going to have the authority to shoot my ass for some petty shit, I should have the expectation that you're not going to be out here twerking it for some petty shit. Down with that. Make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.